Hello, welcome back. This is Crystal Tottenham here from Crystal Clear Coaching. I have had a couple of days away from uploading videos. I am, as I mentioned in a recent video, a little bit of a vagabond right now. I'm in a space where a job is still kind of kicking into gear, and the pay hasn't really come through, and I'm very, very grateful that I've got a lovely friend that has put me up for a few nights, and yeah, I'm still figuring out the next plan right now, so it has been a bit up in the air, and yeah, my money is not really there right now. So talking about self-trust, isn't that a coinky-dink? I have really had to hold steady within myself that I trust myself to find somewhere to stay. I trust myself to find the money, borrow the money, whatever I need to do to make sure that my needs are met for food and shelter at the moment. And part of me is embarrassed to admit that, but I also knew I took a big risk coming over to Australia. I am from New Zealand, and we have the beautiful freedom of movement available to us between Kiwis and Aussies and New Zealand and Australia, which is awesome, and I'm very grateful and very privileged to have that as a choice. But I was hunting for a job for a few months. I finally got one. It took a few weeks to come through. I've had a little bit of other work here and there, but it's only a couple hours here and there. And I'm just waiting for a couple of paychecks to come through. And it's hard because I'm away from home. I don't have a buffer to fall back on. And I'm being very honest about this because it's very easy to say I'm a coach and I've figured everything out and I never falter. But that's just not true, and that's not the coach I want to be. I want to be someone who is authentic and showing all parts when things aren't working, but also how I can overcome them. So I'm hoping by sharing this here, and I keep showing up, talking about like tuning into your inner world and trusting yourself, that you can share the journey of how I trusted myself to get through this hard period where, things aren't quite flowing. But also, funnily enough, I was talking with a friend that I'm staying with right now, and I realised that I'm acting kind of like a greedy dragon on a pile of gold when it comes to what I have to share with the world. Like all the ways that I know how to internally help people, how to sit with them, to hold space for them to internally clear it themselves, let's be honest, because I cannot do it for them. I can hold that beautiful space for them, and it is an honour and a privilege, but without me inviting them to work with me and allowing my services to be out there, allowing people to pay me for my services, so that I can survive and ideally thrive enough to, have enough capacity and energy to hold that space for others. I have to show up. I have to be seen. I have to put myself out there, and it's not easy. I've been dabbling in it for years now, but not boldly doing it in any means of the word. Like I just don't. Yeah, I just haven't. Like, let's be honest. I would be making lots of money if people truly knew how I could hold space to help them heal some of their deepest hurts. Like, seriously, this work is powerful, and I'm like underselling it. I'm doing the world a disservice by not sharing it. But I've also felt very much in survival mode, and just gonna be honest, like, it felt too hard. And it felt like, well, I should go back to what I know. I should go back to working for someone else, working, this job here, just this job here, there, you know, doing office temping, doing retail, you know, working in a cafe, whatever I need to do to just get by. I should, and I'm shoulding all over myself. And as much as I'm not rich in money right now, I am rich in my knowledge and my capability. And I am being a greedy dragon sitting on a pile of gold. And it's not just, I mean, it's actually worth so much more than gold, because this is healing. This is healing work for people. This is people able to overcome blocks that have been holding them back from their dreams for far too long. And I'm just being a greedy dragon. So, my background, as I've mentioned in some other videos, is in film and TV. And I got into that because I am a Lord of the Rings nerd. So I don't want to mess with any copyrights today, but there's a certain dragon in that world. And yeah, he's really great at being alone and hoarding that gold. And you know, he's maybe not got the best personality. So yeah, don't be like him, Crystel. Speaking to myself. So yeah, I'm not sure what roof I'll have over my head in the next couple of weeks. I do have work to show up for. Unfortunately, I can't stay with my friend that whole time because I have no way to get to work. We are up a mountain a bit far out, and you need a car to be able to get places. And that's okay. It is not her responsibility to figure out my stuff. And I'm super grateful for the help that she has given me. And I also wonder how many people end up in this kind of situation and they don't feel like they can ask for help. Because there's a few people I could ask for help right now, and I find myself not doing it. I just don't think it's fair to put on them. And I actually had, in a personal development course recently, just a little day, we did this thing. It was musical chairs, but to confront you with your ways of being, basically. And it stuck with me, because basically I got out in the first couple of rounds, and whenever you get out of this particular game of musical chairs, the coach asks, where is this showing up in your life? And what other ways are you showing up in this way? Like, what? First she asked, what happened? And I just said, oh, they all deserve a chance to also get a chair. And she asked me, where else in your life is this showing up? Because it's really brilliant at showing how we show up in our day-to-day life, in our interactions. The way we are in small ways is often the way we are in all ways. And yeah, I am someone, I've been trained as an assistant to cater to everyone else, make sure their needs are met, to the detriment of myself. And I've been quite happy to do that, working in film and TV. And I find myself as a traveller always just as a person, a human being, going on the street. If I see someone, I will generally step out of their way, or like, especially if someone might, be a bit older or a bit less able-bodied than me, I will make sure I get out of their way, and or if there's a bigger group of people, I'll just see what I can do to. You're crossing a road and you're at an intersection. I'll walk behind the first car so that they can still go if they need to, like, there's just ways of being I have to not show up, to not be seen, but also not bother. And some ways I feel quite justified in that, because I think that's just being a nice person, but nice to the point that I'm not kind to myself. I don't know about that. There's some of those ways of being I will happily keep, because I think I could go either way, and I may as well go the way that's going to be more convenient to the most people. But when I'm doing it constantly to the detriment of myself, and I'm realizing that just because everyone else deserves a chair, it means I'm not getting a chair. I never get a chair. Or I'm not that competitive, actually, is what I said. I'm not that competitive. But maybe when I was younger, I just chose not to be that competitive, because then I just didn't have to deal with it. And there is a theme of procrastination in my life. Has been, at least for a few years, if not really my whole life. And it's because it feels like I can just put it off a bit longer, and then I don't have to deal with it. And the way that shows up is, I think I have a full-time job, I can just wait for that instead of hustling for other work, but really I should. It would have been wise to have found other ways of making an income in this time period. There was a bit of waiting, there was a bit of attempting to work on my coaching stuff, but I still haven't boldly put something out there. And it is really doing a disservice to the world, and myself. Yeah. Yeah. I need to trust myself to go inwards and put myself out there boldly, like from that place of inner knowing, rather than, wake up, roll over, scroll, look at the internet, even if I'm not quote unquote scrolling on social media, even just looking at the news, or just like, what could I do differently to show up and feel into what's important to me first and foremost, first thing in the day? Or, even if I roll out of bed and I just need to get to work that day, well, what can I create a habit for when I'm leaving work? Okay, cool, what's my one thing I want to do for myself now, for this evening, And I say this all talking about myself, but of course, please, if it relates to you, if you feel like you could benefit from it, please take these ideas. I'm just showing up real. Like, unlike most of social media, and there's a time and a place. I love showing something that's beautiful and perfectly curated, but I just think how many of us are suffering in silence, hoarding a pile of gold that we could be sharing with the world, hoarding our creativity gold. Yeah, so if you're also a hoarding dragon, a gold hoarding dragon, can we start sharing some of that creativity gold? And if you need help, I don't mean this in any way for you to try and help my situation, that's on me. But if you would like someone to hold space for you to figure out what your blocks are that are keeping you from sharing that creativity gold, from feeling lit up from that creativity gold, please reach out. My prices are very reasonable at the moment, because I just need to learn to receive money in exchange in order for me to be able to survive, so that I can continue to offer coaching services. At the moment I'm focusing on one-on-ones, but I am open to, if you know that you have a group of friends that would like to do it, to have a lower cost option. We can organise that as well. I'm also working on some digital products I'm going to put out soon, but again, I have been working on, I've got a bunch of half-made things that I could have put out, and I know I just need to put something out because I know it's going to help people so much. And I would just like to say, I'm Crystal Tottenham, and I am sorry for being a gold hoarding dragon. much love to you all. Thank you for listening, and I hope you also stop being a gold hoarding dragon if you are with your creativity, because it is way more powerful than a resource, which is what money is. So yeah, much love. Reach out if you want to chat more about this, or comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I know I'm still very much talking to myself on this platform, but maybe, again, you're in the future, you already know that this found people and it helped people, and I'm already helping others delve into themselves and uncover their blocks. And I know that's true somewhere. And if you already know that about me, well, I'm so stoked for you, because I wish I knew that right now. But here's the thing, actually, if I sit with it, I do know that about myself. I do know that's where I'm heading. If I didn't, I probably would have moved home with my tail between my legs by now. But I know I'm still in the right place. I know I uncomfortably, scrappily moved to Australia for a reason. And I need to own that. And yeah, if future me has overcome my issues with being seen as a coach and serving as a coach and receiving money as a coach, then please believe that you can for yourself with whatever lights your soul up, whatever you do with your creativity gold that you are currently hoarding. There's a future version of you maybe watching a video of this time period, even if it's just a mental video of this time period where you weren't sure if you could do it, and they're thinking, we can do it, let's do it. Alright, enough of me for now. I will be back next opportunity. I'm gonna try and keep up a daily thing or at least every couple of days, but it really depends where I am, if I can find a spot to record a video without people glancing at me, which might be harder in a hostel, but maybe I'll just bring everyone else on what I'm doing, and they can listen in if they want to. So yeah, much love. Stop being a gold hoarding dragon with your creativity, please.